Welcome everyone to the official final episode of our joint project, and it's my honor to show you the 11th and final episode. It's really awesome for me, but to be honest, I'm also a little bit sad. Then we have reached the end, and I know all good things need a happy ending, and I hope that this episode is a worthy conclusion. And it started over 7 months ago, and I can still remember how at the end of November or the beginning of December last year, I tried to draw the first maple leaves using with the path system, and then I designed the plaza in calm, step by step, and created a large gas parking lot nearby site before I officially released the first episode in the end of January, when I remember it correctly. I was so happy that we were able to finish the park now, even if we might be missing a few little things and details in some corners. And I can guess here, we are satisfied with this last area. Absolutely, 100%. Crazy Cat Myri and me are happy with the park, and I can say we had a lot of crashes with the last save file here in the last few weeks, and so it was a good thing that we finally reached the end. And I'm pretty sure we reached the goal with the perfect ending here, but see for yourself and let us know in the comments, guys, what do you think about the last episode and the last section and so on. Alrighty, my plan in this episode is I will try to show you the steps in various save files, how we slowly developed our idea further. And it was an exciting journey to see how the idea slowly evolved into a concept and how it then changed halfway through. And I'm absolutely delighted with what Crazy Cat Myri and me created in the end. And first of all, I have to say that I know the episode is coming out later than usual, the 14 days room. This is because I was busy due to health reasons, and I also had a few longer breaks with a week of hospital time, which I also caused me problems with creativity when I was back home, and then And I would like to briefly address this at the beginning of the episode and let you know that I'm currently having some health concerns, and I have now found a bit more time to work on the last area and for the recordings and the video producing, the episode producing, and so and also the idea was to work on the last area together from the start in cooperation with Crazy Cat Myri. So everyone building a little bit something, and then when we constantly sending the save file back and forth to each other and building on what the other one had done. And I mean, each of us produced before 5 fantastic episodes in the past, and that's why I had the idea to let's work together on the last area. And I would also like to take the opportunity to the publicity here to say thank you for Crazy Cat Myri for helping me through the last weeks and for supporting me and with your positive energy and creativity. I can't thank you enough for all your support, but I think our viewers here would like finally see what happened here and what's coming up in this episode. And so, let's start with the first save file, how we slowly evolved from our initial idea and built the final area. I wanted to continue the path and the transition from the Botanical garden, and you can see this in some seconds. Then welcome to the first save file, and here you can see that a lot has already happened, because I can't get into the previous save file and show you the all from the start. I had overwritten the first save file from the expansion of this area here, and therefore this is basically the first save file that I can show you. Okay, that was complicated. Forget my words, forget it. So, look, this is the start here at the Botanical garden, and I've already extended the path and built a small English garden with some benches, and later on this area will have 3 paths that the guests can walk along in every direction here. And I'd also like to incorporate these little gazebos, I hope we can call these gazebos, as additional seatings for the guests. And I've spoken to Crazy Cat Myri about creating a tree garden, and it calls Arboretum. I hope it's correct in English too, arboretums. Then I love arboretums. Just basically gardens with a lot of different trees. And the plan is everything should be nice, planted with different vegetation, so that we basically have a botanical outdoor area in addition to the botanical house in the background. And so I've been playing with the idea of also incorporating the ruins of the church here, back here, and turning it into a small cafe where we can enjoy a nice view of the garden and occasionally spot some peaceful dinosaurs when you're sitting here with your cafe or some whatever you like as a guest drink. And I don't have any idea yet how to develop it. And I've started by creating a few small terraces around it because I saw some pictures of a monastery garden and that inspired me. And so I have a few other ideas too after seeing these pictures. And also I shared this idea with Crazy Cat Myri and asked it if she liked to continue. And then she had this save file for a while, and then after this, what you can see here for the first, let's swap over to the second. Then welcome to the second save file, and we can see that a lot has happened here. And I have to say right from the start, I was absolutely impressed by her creativity and her passion for details. And I mean this in general, not only in this save file here, I mean in every step through the last weeks in every save file. And I was also so grateful that she took everything in a positive direction, mostly with my basic ideas and steps, and she was also happy about the idea of designing a monastery or a castle-inspired area and just letting yourself go and be inspired by the various images from the monastery gardens and so on. It was a great pleasure for me to work on this section with you, Crazy Cat Myri. It's so gorgeous. Okay, back to this place here. Here by the church, Crazy Cat Myri built this beautiful staircase here and started to expand the garden a little bit, and also built this cool fountain here. Look, it looks so cute. It's simple but so effective. And yeah, I like these details here. And I'm totally impressed about these details. And if we go back, let's get over here back to the starting point. She also designed the seating for the guest here with the little seating opportunities or gazebos. I don't know what we can call this little item here, but you can see it. And she also planted lots of trees and made it look a bit more wild and colorful. And I really liked it. And now we have a beautiful and diverse forest for a few forest dinosaurs, but we won't see them for now. We see them until the end of the episode, And Crazy Cat Myri also built, I haven't forgot for a second, here, look, she built a lookout over here, and I would simply call it lookout. I hope it's correct in English, because here the guests can sit inside in this little wooden house or construction and look out into the middle of nature. And I think it's very cute. And this is for me an integrated viewing gallery in the middle of the forest. And I think clever idea so far. Yeah, and then I started working on the cliff here, decorating it with rocks, and further developed the monastery walls a little bit. And then we both discussed how to expand the monastery garden and integrate it into this area. And in the meantime, I had reinforced the monastery walls here with these various items and combine them so that we have a stronger wall with a little roof, so a little rock roof. You can see it here. And yeah, after that the save file went back to Crazy Cat Myri, and then I will say we move on to the next one. Whoop! So, time jump again. And I was absolutely delighted that she deleted my small lake here by the castle or church ruins and built this beautiful large circular path and laid out the monastery garden over here on the other side with the outlines. And I was absolutely thrilled and speechless about her continuation, and then I took a bit of time to consider how to proceed it here again, and that was so wow. Okay, we have these milestone, the outlines, what we can build here, and so on. It was so wow, and yeah, it's what great to see this. And over here we can see a bridge placed from here, and I brought up an idea. And I also like this wooden structure that serves here as an exit to leave the monastery garden to the bridge here. And so I had already given her thought to what we could do with the lake over here that she placed here for the first. And so yeah, it was very inspiring for me, and so I saw the next area in my inner eyes, so in my mind I mean, and I know, okay, we need this big lake, we have a bridge, we have here an exit for the guest, what we can do. And so I would say, let's dive into the next save file. Whoop! So, welcome back. And unfortunately I didn't get much done and only built the outer walls of the monastery garden and connected the other paths out of the forest with it here, as you can see, and continued planting the small hanging terraced gardens by the church or monastery with some different plants, lower vegetation, so it looks like a little bit more like a herb garden, herby garden, and yeah, I hope it looks in combination with the other items and the rocks, and so a little bit more old and deconstructed, and so I like this old look here. So, and yeah, so then what can I say again? And then with the bridge. So let's come back to the bridge, and I had this in mind. The bridge can lead over the water, and then the guest over here by the lake could walk down with the stone steps, and maybe can go around the lake. And so I asked Crazy Cat Myri, help! Of my first word in this moment in the chat, help me! If she could think anything special to it, because at the time I wasn't sure how to continue with the stairs and whether she had any great ideas, so I hope. And also ask her if we could come up with anything with the monastery ruins up here. And the whole time I couldn't think of a good idea for how to include a restaurant or a cafe here, so that looks good in the end. And finally I can say that I had the idea of making also the lake more interactive with these little boats and a jetty, but as I said, I wasn't so creative at the moment how I can build this here and adapt it. And then I also distracted with my health in the time, and next jump into the next cipher had completely taken my breath away. I told you, Crazy Cat Myri is a witch with witchcraft and dozens of spells. And so we have a bigger jump in the process in the next save file, and you can see more and more how it looks like in the end. And then we'll say on this point, let's jump over to the next save file, and then you can see it for yourself. And voila! So this is the big change and one of the biggest surprises for me. Oh, I was so impressed by what she managed to integrate some of the ideas from our conversations, and then she built this here. And I think it's so great, I mean, that she built this pergola with the hops growing on it. We also had the spontaneous idea after I seen this here with the hops to integrating a brewery. We call it then Jurassic Beer or the Maple Leaves Beer. And so had the park officially have a brewery where the guests can sit here in the monastery garden and enjoy the beer. And that's why it reminds me a little bit of Munich's Oktoberfest, when people sit in the beer garden. And I hope you can relate to the description image when I say Oktoberfest or beer garden. Then in Germany it's relatively normal to have lots of beer gardens everywhere where you can sit with your colleagues or friends, and especially in the summertime, and have a currywurst or a schnitzel and drink a beer. And I think this integration of our brewery is really great and makes the whole garden more interactive for the guests, so I think. And the biggest surprises for me also was how she continued the boat dock or jetty. Yeah, and here you can see it. She turned it into a more nice direction with my stone steps into this boat dock. And don't worry, I won't show you all the next save files right now. Instead, I straight to the I don't jump straight to the final result. I think we need one step before. I mean, and then you can see the finished result here with the lake and the boat docks and the boats in between and the vegetation integration and so on. And then, yeah, I would say let's jump over to the last but not least save file, and then we have the final result, I promise. And then we can a little bit talk about more the final result and the dinosaurs and so on. And then, whoop. So then welcome back. And we had the idea of integrating the Jurassic River cruise here, so that little yellow rubber boats from Jurassic World Rebirth would actually travel along the lake. And it was a great idea and it worked really well at the beginning. But in the end, we decided against it because we had technical problems with the performance, and the save game crashed on a number of occasions. It was hilarious. So what saved us was deleting this attraction and some of the future buildings that we placed, and we could then, after all the deleting here, we could then relax and carry on building and decorating everything. Before I show you the final save game, I have to show you here the great Monastery ruins area, and Crazy Cat Myri has really managed to expand the monastery with this building here. Look. It is so cool. Yeah, and take a look at this lightning as well here, and here on the edges from the castle ruin look here. And we will take also a closer look at this lightning particular at the end of the episode, when we swept the time and swap over to the evening time, I mean. But you can already see how cool it looks, and it makes a wonderful backdrop too, especially in the evening. Lightning is everything, so I think. So she also integrated one amenity for the guest here, and yeah, but we can't rename it at the moment. When we rename it, then we have a crash. Boop, then it's over. Okay, and so we have a sushi restaurant, but it isn't a sushi restaurant. Doesn't matter. But the whole thing is, look how she covered up this amenity for the guest. It's so cool. Wow. It looks perfect integrated with the rest of the church ruins. Super cool. And yeah, otherwise, I think all the details here, the seating and the lamps are super cute, and the entire courtyard area seems so lively. Due to the guests and the numerous of little details, and so I think it looks perfect, lively, and yeah, I'm really proud of her what she's done with it, and I think she had a lot of fun doing it. I also think it's an advantage that she lives in an area in Germany where monastery gardens and castles are no strangers to her. I know places like that, but up here in the capital of Germany, we don't have anything like that nearby. We do have castles. Don't get me wrong. We have castles here and here, but nothing comparable to this here. And I can only say thank you so much for this amazing work, Crazy Cat Myri. And you managed to design the courtyard of this castle or monastery so beautifully, and I'm absolutely proud of you. It's really well done and looks so sexy. So then I'm going to make a small time jump now because after that we both worked a little bit on the lake, and I don't want to make the episode too long because there's still 3 or 4 other save files in between before we are finally reached the end, final save file, I mean. Yeah, and so I think we jump over to the final part, and we see us in some seconds. Whoop! So, welcome to the last part with all the revisions from both of us. And here you can see that the boat dock has also been given a small boathouse, and it looks so cool. I like these details. And we have removed the tour, so I told you, and scattered lots of small wooden boats everywhere and created small islands in the middle of the lake. And they are heavily overgrown here with various trees, water lilies, reeds, or horsetails. I'm not sure is this only reed or horsetails. Whatever. And big bald cypresses. And I think they look really beautiful, this section, to every day and night time. And I'm also looking forward to showing you the other times of the day later in the episode. And with the lightning, and at the end of the lake, you can see we have the second boat station here, or boat dock, and where the guests can get off. Also, we have here on the side a little waterfall situation, and so I think it looks a little bit more lively with the lake. And I think the guests are welcome to rent a boat here and drive around the lake and stop at the small islands here, or one of the islands here in the middle by the little wooden dock, and they can spend the time here. And here we have on this island as well a campfire and seating a and also a small toilet house here in between the trees. And I like this detail. And my wish was that the guests definitely have the opportunity to really enjoy the nature a little bit in this big park here. And Crazy Cat Myri and me designed it really relatively beautiful. Yeah, I'm sure it's very beautiful, and including these different plants. And I'm very happy with all the details and how everything turned out in the end. And I really enjoyed this part here with how it looks here with all the rocks and plantings, the plants I mean, what we have planted here. And I also integrated a lot of lighting everywhere so that the guests can see exactly where the shore begins and ends, even in the evening time when you drive with your wooden boat here. And I also enhanced the island with beautiful magical lights, so with a little bit of green and purple, so that a gentle fairy tale-like atmosphere will hopefully emerge when you sit around the campfire in the evening or take the boat here. And enjoy the beauty shots, and then you can see what I mean here with the lightning situation. And so what I can say again, sorry for my hustling here. So then I also took care of the rest of the lighting for this area, for the whole area, I mean here with the forest, the monastery and the lake, and placing and hiding a few lamps throughout so that the most important points are illuminated. And I never would have imagined that the final part of our joint park building project would take so much time. But I think we both wanted to give the best what we can give. And I think this conclusion was definitely worth it. We've created such a romantical place. And I mean, this castle ruin alone makes this area stand out. But what would an episode and a whole new section from our Maple Meadows without dinosaurs? And so, I think I've kept you in suspense long enough, and I've decided on a few dinosaurs that I think are very suitable for forest residents. And I chose for the small Dinosaurus, because I think they are very suitable for forest resident. Firstly, because they're good at hiding in the undergrowth, and also because they're it's good with the camouflaging, with the skin appearances. Yeah, and I also had this magical idea that a Dryosaurus could also be a triad from the Greek mythology, the triads. And what I mean with this, they can be forest nymphs, inhabitants of the forest, and they ensure that the forest is always protected. And in reference to the forest guardians, I thought I would also like to integrate a Plateosaurus here as a guardian, and protector of this forest and the monastery garden. And I know these descriptions are a little bit abstract, sorry for this, but when I looked a lot of dinosaurs, I thought these two dinosaurs were perfectly suited to this last area, which has somewhat magical enchanted feel, and their skin somehow matched with the tree bark, and they can hide well in between. And I think they are also dinosaurs that are relatively peaceful and are not too dangerous to the guest. And I know the potential of from the dinosaurs are relatively high. Every dinosaur is a danger to the guests, but I think you know what I mean, and I think these dinosaurs are peaceful enough. And yeah, I had considered including other species, but then I decided against it because I think less is sometimes more. And this last area basically has 3 areas. The first area is this forest garden, where these 2 wonderful dinosaurs live and can roaming around here freely. Then in the middle we have the castle ruin and the monastery garden. And here the dinosaurs are also allowed to roaming around freely. And as a background story, I would say that there are also a few animal keepers staying here or walking around and make sure that the animals don't get too close or scared off by the guest. It's supposed to be to feel like it is more interactive area with free roaming dinosaurs, and the guests can come together and enjoy it. And yeah, last but not least, the last area of this whole section is then the big lake, and here the guests can get into a boat and go to the other shore and explore the rest of the park. And please excuse my changed voice, because I think I'm a little hoarse and it sounds a bit deeper and rougher now, but I'm fine and well. And I don't have the flu or something like that, and I know my vocal cords are still a bit sore from a bad cough since a few days, and I have to redo the recording here right now, but I hope you don't mind it. And I'd like to invite you to take a look at the beauty shots in the background time and be enchanted by the images, and especially the evening hours when the light is changing. And I'll run the day and nighttime rhythm right away, so we can admire the entire facility at night as well. I know I've said this many times in this episode, but I'm really proud of both of us and our work. Personally, this is the best conclusion I've been able to achieve in Jurassic World Evolution 2, a collaboration that has spanned several months. And I think so far it's personally my best work, and also my greatest challenge, which has helped me grow with each episode and further develop my personal skills in modular building and so on. And I feel more and more ready for Jurassic World Evolution 3, and now that modular building will be a bit easier than in the current game or in this current moment to use mods for modular constructions and so. And I mean, modular building is difficult. Despite the great options, it's still a bit complicated to place all the objects, and I cannot copy and paste in this game, and I have the feeling it's a bit easier to play in PK or Planet Zoo with modular building, and so And at least the mechanics when I want to use different items. And I'm not saying it's easy to build and to play or to construct a model building, because I know I'll have problems here too with modding and to use these items and to build a wonderful house or something like that. But I feel better prepared. What I've enjoyed most over the past few months has been how we've inspired each other with different ideas, and also watching each other to do what they do with the items. And I'm really impressed by the different structures that have been created here in the last few episodes. And it all started with so in my eyes, with a small parking lot and a slightly larger plaza with the maple leaves. And then continued with majestic structures like a large aviary and the also the majestic sauropod house, and also with the new mod with the glass panes have also brought many great features and advantages. And I'm so excited to see how Jurassic World Evolution 3 will is to build it. To play it, I mean, with the modular building, but I'm just as happy. We have also prefabs and everything, so it's a little bit easier for most of the people, and for me too. I like prefabs. And I hope you don't have too many of you worried about the sequel with Jurassic World Evolution 3 and the new mechanics and possibilities. Don't be scared with modular building and so on. I can only invite you to simply let yourself be surprised and take this little new challenge for yourself. Standing still brings no benefits, and growing is the opposite of standing still. I think everyone who continues to have a great love for Jurassic World Evolution will also have a lot of fun with the next game and will be able to continue building beautiful parks. And in conclusion, I just want to say that I feel ready and I'm absolutely thrilled for Jurassic World Evolution 3 and all his possibilities. And I'm excited about the babies and the many improvements that we saw in the past. And I'm also curious to see if we get any more cool informations before the game officially launches at the end of October. And that's a good moment to here. I have one final announcement. This will probably be my last episode and also my last video for Jurassic World Evolution 2. And I don't know yet if I ever be to do a park tour, but I'd like to do it again, maybe without saying anything about it, only just showing the park with nice music in the background. Yeah, and so I do a park tour in the next time. And I have many commitments in the next few weeks, and I will be very busy. Therefore, I have the feeling this will be my last bigger video for this wonderful game here. And I'm still trying to make this park tour. And maybe I'll have a little time for other spontaneous ideas, but I don't want to make any more big promises at the moment. And I think I've built almost everything I wanted to build and try out in this game. And I've been able to implement many ideas in this project too. And I notice again and again that when you work with the right people, you can achieve a lot. And with great colleagues at your side, you can become good friends. And friends help you through good times and bad times. Without Crazy Cat Myri, I wouldn't have been able to finish this project due to my private situation. And I can only encourage and inspire you all. Be brave and be curious, and just because you can't do something yet doesn't mean you'll never be able to do it. when I think back, 2 or 3 years ago, I wasn't particularly good at building things either, and it took me a while, but if you set your mind to do something and are passionate about it, I think time changes everything. And eventually you find your own personal style and your way. Nobody becomes a perfect master or a great artist overnight, and everything takes time. Of course, you also need to have a few skills and be a creative person and interested in landscape design and park construction. And I can say I've tried that many things over the past few years. But all these attempts had helped me to develop the skills I need for today. And you can't cheat your way through life. Besides, life changes, and sometimes you have a lot more to do with school or exams or a new job or whatever. You won't always have time for YouTube or anything else, and everything changes. Folks, I'll tell you one thing. This is life, and the only constant in life is change. And it's okay that certain things don't have as much time anymore because other matters have become more important. However, one thing will never change for me, and that's my love for dinosaurs and this franchise and this game too. And I'm so excited to continue building enclosures and designing landscapes for dinosaurs. And I hope that one day I have more peace, time, and motivation to deliver more good content in the future. And I hope to come back with a new project or something at the end of the year or a little bit earlier, I don't know. Once we've all gotten to use the Jurassic World Evolution 3 better with the new mechanics and so, and have a good feeling with the game, and so I can say on this point, I thank you everyone who watched this last episode and followed this project from me and Crazy Cat Myri, and I thank you all for your support and likes and criticism too. And thank you for the last 2 years, and I'm very proud and happy to have met many people through this community, and I've learned to appreciate some of you very, very good, and the many moments and conversations in Discord and other places. And I don't want to say goodbye here, don't get me wrong, but just to say that it will be it needs a little while before I publish content again. And thank you all so much for everything, and stay safe, stay tuned, and stay inspired with Jurassic World Evolution 2 and the next upcoming game. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all again, and thank you for your support to this game here. And yeah, Jurassic World Evolution 2 is so beautiful and wonderful and gave me so many great moments. I was able to fully indulge my creativity and build many beautiful parks, design fantastic landscapes and populate them with dinosaurs. Jurassic World Evolution 2 was my great creative outlet for my hard work, and often transported me to a strange world where I often lost track of time and playing with dinosaurs. And I'm so excited to see what Jurassic World Evolution 3 will be like. For me, for you, for all of us. Thank you for watching. Have a good time. And if you like these last episode, then let me know it in a comment. Give us a like, give us some love, and thank you for watching. And yes, bye bye.